All the alluvial mining prone provinces, active mechanized alluvial mining has largely been halted. Sustained efforts are currently underway to eliminate the lingering threat of local illegal miners who continue to invade previously mined areas. The deployment of crack teams to combat the destruction of riverine ecosystems is currently ongoing. As such, Cabinet approved that a legislative framework to accelerate the river rehabilitation process be provided. Cabinet also approved the ban on raw mineral exports and lithium concentrates as presented by the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Polite Kabambra. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for presenting today's Cabinet highlights. We now move to the first round of 3 questions. Then we will ask the Honorable Ministers to respond. Then we move to the second and last round of 3 questions. Over to you, colleagues.
Okay. Thank you, Chief Secretary. My question, I'm Stanley James from ZBC. My question is directed to the Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Honorable Mtuli Ngube. Basically, Professor Mtuli Ngube, this issue of the new guidelines, the triple P is the guidelines whereby 30% for government has been set aside. Why is that 30%? Maybe can you explain the rationale behind the government being on the 30% side, yet at the private sector taking the 70%?
I'm Richmond Siakurima, Radio Zimbabwe. Mine is directed to the Minister of Mines, Honorable Kambamura, regarding the ban of exports on minerals. I don't know whether that ban is strictly on lithium or it cuts across the mineral divide, because there have been several other minerals, including black granite and others, that have been railed out of the country. It is government policy that those minerals should be value aided before they are railed out of the country. So probably people would want to know, is it on lithium only, or it's also on all the other minerals?
Thank you, Chief Secretary. I'm Gretina Machingura from China News Agency. The question is also directed to the Honorable Minister of Mines. I just want to find out for how long is the ban going to last, and also want to know what prompted the government to effect the ban on lithium concentrates, considering that government had previously set that ban for January 2027. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Minister.
Thank you very much, Chief Secretary. The first question is directed to Honorable Professor Mtuli Ngube.
Thank you very much, Chair. The question directed at me came from Stanley James. Thank you very much. How are you? What's the magic about the 30% shareholding? Why 30% shareholding? First of all, let me say, I think it was necessary for government working with ZIDA, which is a part of government, to come up with these guidelines in the first place. We do not have proper guidelines before, and these are now in place after the cabinet approval, and this is pleasing, and these will be promulgated and disseminated so potential investors know how to go about their business if they want a triple P arrangement with government. So why 30%? The 30% shareholding level meets the threshold of what we call a significant and a material minority shareholder. A significant and material minority shareholder is one who holds at least 26% in a company. So 30% meets that criterion, that threshold. And also we know that with a 30% shareholding, chances are that at least 30% of the board will be staffed by nominees of the entity that government is nominated to spearhead the project on behalf of government. So with 30%, then we can, as I say, contribute towards the governance of the project and the strategic direction of the project, and also are able to vote strategically for the success of the project. So it's a magic figure, but it still gives the project promoters, 70% of the dividends from the project very easily. So it's still significant for the shareholder. 30% is not as intrusive, but is sufficient to protect the interests of government and the interests of citizens. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tulingube. The second question is directed to Honorable Minister of Mines, together with the third question, if you could tackle both. Honorable Polite Kambamura.
Thank you very much. In June 2025, government approved the ban of lithium concentrates to come 1 January 2027. After the notice of the intended ban, the industry responded otherwise by increasing their level of production and also increasing export volumes. There was also an increased appetite for lithium export permits. The rationale behind it was to export as much product as possible before the notice period. We also noted that there was a lot of under-declarations that were now being done. The geology of our country is multi-element, which means one deposit can contain many other minerals. For example, the PGM deposit. So the same applies with the pegmatite deposit as well, where we get lithium. So we had to come in with this intervention of banning the export of lithium concentrates and also any raw minerals or unbeneficiated minerals or minerals that are not value-added, with effect from 26 February 2026. To answer part of the question, this ban is for lithium concentrates and any other mineral that is not beneficiated. The ban will be in effect as long as conditions or new expectations of government are not met. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers, for responding to those questions. We move to the last round of 3 questions. Wallace.
Thank you, Chief Sec. My question is directed at Honorable Minister Kambamura. Minister, soon after you announced the ban, global prices of lithium shot up. How telling is this of Zimbabwe's position right now in terms of its comparative advantage globally? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Mine is directed to Honorable Minister Masuka, where accelerated rural programs for agricultural purposes is concerned. Recently, there is a program launched by the President that tobacco farmers must produce 600 million kgs of tobacco. And when we went out to the rural areas, Honorable Minister, the tobacco farmers are complaining about inadequate water resources and other provisions to ensure that they produce the president's desired 600 million kgs of tobacco. I don't know how accelerated how accelerated is the program 8.0 going to benefit rural farmers of tobacco who produce 80% of the tobacco in this country?
Thank you. The last. Stanley James, second bite. Machingura, second bite.
Thank you, Chief Secretary. Maybe for Honorable Minister Masuka again to just tell us some of the rivers that are currently undergoing rehabilitation, some of the major rivers in the country that had been affected by alluvial mining that are being rehabilitated.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Chief Secretary. The first question is directed to Honorable P. Kambamura.
Thank you. Can you repeat the question and speak a bit louder?
Wallace Ruzito from the Herald newspaper. Minister, soon after you announced the ban on the export of raw minerals, prices, primarily that of lithium, on the global market, they shot up. And so my question is, how telling is this of Zimbabwe's importance in terms of the green revolution, the global green revolution, rather? Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's correct that after the announcement, prices were reviewed upwards just because of one word from the government of Zimbabwe through the guidance of His Excellency the President, Comrade Lithium Mnangagwa. Zimbabwe supplies 10% of the global demand for lithium and also 19% of China's requirements for lithium. As a country, considering our poor position and also that we are the largest lithium producer in Africa, we need to benefit considerably from our mineral resource, and we need also to have a voice that can be heard, especially in the energy transition initiative. So Zimbabwe needs also to go green. How do we go green? By further beneficiating our minerals and also benefiting from finished products from lithium resources. So we are not going to be ending on beneficiation to lithium sulfate. We want to attract other companies, other investors, quality investors, of course, who will come, set base in the country, and manufacture lithium products. Talk of solar panels, talk of lithium batteries, and so forth. We do have the ingredient minerals into the green energy transition, so we are at a poor position. The fact that our voice can change global voices, it means we play a nucleus role or a pivotal role in the lithium sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. The two questions, one from Richmond Siyakurima and the other one from Chingura, directed to Honorable Minister Masuka.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to Richmond Siyakurima for the very important question. The government came up with the Tobacco Value Chain Transformation Plan running from 2026 to 2030, in which it has 7 objectives, and among them is increasing sustainable tobacco production from the record 355 million kilograms attained in 2025 to 500 million kilograms by 2030, not 600 million. And it is in that context that government believes that traceable, sustainable production is key to ensuring that the flavorful styles of tobacco that we produce and market to 60 destinations will continue to have takers. It is in this context that the 85% of our tobacco, which is grown by the smallholder sector, is critical for transformation of rural livelihoods and also for general accelerated economic development. The water for tobacco is critical at the first stages, the first three months, because it's a seedbed crop. And with climate change, Zimbabwe is predicted to become drier in the decades ahead, which is why the Rural Development 8.0 interventions by the President, His Excellency Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, are so critical. That's why the President wants a borehole in each village, so that water does not become an impediment to economic development. We've drilled just under 5,000 boreholes under this program, but also we have already 41,883 boreholes drilled since 1980, and we're capacity testing these to ensure that they are able to provide sufficient water. So the plan is in place, the implementation mechanism is sufficiently dynamic and robust to cater for the water needs for tobacco and any other crop. Tobacco is a generally drought-tolerant crop when established in the field. So the critical aspect is water during the seedbed phase, which is the first 3 months. If it is irrigated tobacco, from 1 June to 1 September when irrigated tobacco is planted, and ordinarily from 15 July to anything 15 August for the dryland crop. That's the seedbed critical period. And for Greater Machingura, the question relating to the listing of rivers that are currently under rehabilitation. Perhaps the context in which we presented this might not have been clearly articulated. The purpose of the presentation to Cabinet and was an update on the implementation of the ban on alluvial mining as captured in SI 188 of November 2024. So Cabinet noted the progress that had been the progress with implementation of the directive to ban alluvial mining, and Cabinet was satisfied with that. The next stage was to do some pilot rehabilitation to inform countrywide rehabilitation, and again Cabinet noted with satisfaction the concept of rehabilitating degraded rivers and also approved the countrywide adoption of the concept so that all the degraded river sites across the 8 provinces, 8 rural provinces, can begin to be implemented in earnest. And finally, Cabinet approved a framework, a legislative framework to accelerate river rehabilitation, and an announcement will be made in due course as to the nature and extent of the impact of that acceleration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers, for responding to those questions. We've come to the end of today's post-Cabinet press briefing. We meet next week.